This is a really good website to practice IELTS speaking on. It mentions recent exams, and that's your discretion if they are recent or not. You can check that up. However, what I like is the breakdown of part 1, interview question, part 2, cue card, and then the discussion question, part 3. This is how the exam looks like. So sometimes though in the exams you do have those personal questions. Do you work or study? What is your name? Now those are very easy questions to answer. But when you look at questions like these, let's have a look at how we are supposed to answer them. Is bicycle a good way to move around? The concept you always want to keep in mind is 2 long points or 3 short points. For example, in this answer, the first thing is, obviously I'm going to answer the question. Is it a good way to move around? I think it's not a good way to move around. Now I'm going to do my points. Let's do 2 long points. Firstly, nowadays, it's almost a political issue to even ride a bicycle. A lot of motorists are against bicycles on the road since they cause inconvenience and a lot of times traffic congestion. Secondly, I just believe it is not safe for cyclists to be on the road these days, especially given our country and our city, the weather, the snow. It just ensures that you are on the verge of slipping anytime, plus you're never safe from fast cars. 2 long points? Perfect. What if I were to do 3 short points? Now in that case I would say, I don't think cycling is a good way to move around. Firstly, it's extremely unsafe given the weather conditions and fast cars around you. Secondly, I just don't want to bother motorists who have to pile up behind me just because I'm going too slow and because they have to be worried about my safety. Finally, cyclists don't really pay taxes. Motorists do. The road belongs to cars. This is what I think, and that might be controversial. That's my opinion. That's my answer. Okay, so here I gave 3 short points. 3 short or 2 long. Either way, you will fully answer the question, and more importantly, you will segment the information, like mainly, secondly, thirdly. So you're showing the examiner the structure, and you're fully getting marks for the task response and explanation because you're breaking down your explanation beautifully. Let's try that again with this question. Which qualities should a famous person have? Let's get started. In this case, you don't need to answer the question first because there's no direct answer. So you start with the first quality, for example. Well, there are many qualities famous people should have. One is humility above all. They are famous people for a reason, which means they probably are well known. That would mean a lot of people would approach them and probably want to take selfies or autographs. At this point, showing humility and actually showing gratitude to those fans would be a quality that they would be cherished for. Moreover, famous people should have compassion. If you are famous, I'm assuming you have money. I'm assuming you are affluent, which would mean give some because you want to show gratitude. And of course, who does not want to help people? By helping people, you share a bit of your privilege with the society, which is what makes the world better. 2 long points, right? Let's do 3 short points. Which quality should a famous person have? Well, firstly, I think famous people need to be humble. They are put on a pedestal, but humility would really make them shine on that pedestal. Moreover, sharing some of their privileged status by giving to charities and the needy would be another great quality they could possess. Finally, while it's hard to think of even more qualities, I do believe famous people need to live up to their image. If they have entered a field based on their talent, they should maintain that talent. Nobody wants to see a famous person on decline. All right, there we go. So in this case, the third point, I wasn't really sure what it was going to be. So I said something at the start. It was the filler, but it was not a filler it was more like, well, it's hard to think about another point that famous people could have, but I think it would be this one. And by saying that, you can use that to your advantage and think of the actual thing you want to say. 3 short points, and 2 long points. This is the best way to answer all your questions in parts 1 and 3. But part 2, cue card, is its own beast. It has its own strategy. We will discuss that in the very next video. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to this channel. I am teacher Sean, one of the top IELTS experts in Canada with this new channel that we have here. So your support would be highly appreciated. We will be uploading videos every week and shorts every single day. Talk to you soon.